Oh god, the internet connection really sucks for today. I have no idea what is going on. Boss, we have a problem. Yeah, what's the problem? There is a new brand I've never heard of called Bear Panda. They are selling the same figure for only 7,500 yen. Big fans of the artist behind this character, they will still buy the figure just to support their beloved artist, They don't even know the artist is taking 5% commission while the other 95% goes into my pocket. Hi and welcome back to the channel, Steven, with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 29th of April all the way to 3rd of May 2024. And I am beginning to understand why we had so many figure pre-orders last week. Yeah, it is to make up for this week with lesser pre-orders because we have Labour Day, public holiday, right in the middle of the week on 1st of May, a Wednesday. And then it appears that a lot of companies were taking half of the week off, like Ami did not update anything on Monday and Tuesday, I think. And then we had OSGK not updating the site much on Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Alright, firstly, let's jump into Hobby Link Japan, this channel's affiliate partner for licensed genuine figures, and I have already picked out the figures I want to cover. Yes, Bunny Girls galore. Let's begin with an affordable 1x4 scale Sayuri Bunny Girl version illustration by K-Pring by Bear Panda. 11,000 yen only. Yep, 11,000 yen for a 1x4 scale. This one is hot, smoking hot. And yeah, I am indeed planning to review a Bear Panda 1x4 scale figure. I don't know when I will get it, but I'm expecting late May at the earliest. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so this one, of course, I think it is a no-brainer. For those of you collecting 1x4 scales, pick one up. And even though this is a bit too hot for YouTube, I'm still thinking of picking one up and reviewing it later, because why not? 11,000 yen! And probably even cheaper in China if you have a way of acquiring figures from China, that is. However, for those of you who can't communicate in Chinese, I would say avoid pre-ordering on Chinese websites unless you know what you're doing, because you need to talk to the sellers directly. Unlike buying in-stock stuff, that is a lot easier compared to pre-ordering stuff, which is not that straightforward, right? Okay, so moving on to the next one, we have a 1x4 scale Yuko Yashiki Bunny Girl figure, right, by Magi Arts. Deluxe edition, 28,000 yen. You get that wall scroll over there if you're not interested in that. Yeah, 26,000 yen, 2,000 yen off. And I do remember this figure very well. Yeah, from Wonder Festival. Just that this figure, not my kind of figure. Like, her hairstyle is not, it's not the kind I like to see in women. Like, she totally reminds me of a more busty Fubuki in Licorice Recoil. You know, in the first episode, that tomboy girl who gave Kakina a punch in the face? Yeah, her name is Fubuki. That hairstyle reminds me of her, and I don't like it. I know this is based on artwork, and if you like this Bunny Girl figure, by all means go and pick one up. I mean, 26,000 yen for a 1x4 scale, hey, that is great value nowadays when you consider freeing stuff starts at 36,000 yen. Yeah. Speaking of one of the most famous Black Bunny Girls out there, Mai Sakurajima, yeah, this feels like exactly the same thing except with a different head and a bigger bust, right? Different head, different face, that is all. So figures like this are very difficult for me to recommend to 1x4 scale collectors, even because of how common they are. Or maybe that is just my own view, by the way. The next one over here, more Black Bunnies. I told you guys already, Black Bunny Week. 1x4 scale Bunny Girl illustration by Love Cacao based on an artwork again. So this one by Magi Arts is a lot more expensive at 36,000 yen. I have no idea what is going on because both this figure and the one before that, yeah, they appear to be roughly the same thing to me. Why is this 10,000 yen more expensive? Almost 10,000 yen more expensive. The only thing I could think of is, oh yeah, how could I forget? Okay, So 36,000 yen, you are actually getting both the stocking version you're looking at in this picture and also the barrel leg version. There we go. Yeah, you're paying 36,000 yen for both versions. I have no idea if you are getting two whole figures, two entire figures in the box, or you are just getting parts to swap out, which I think is a bit unlikely. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, if you are getting two entire figures at 36,000 yen, that makes it 18k each. Wow. Not as cheap as Bear Panda stuff, but still worthy of a consideration because Magi Art stuff is like way higher quality, freeing level, if not better. I hope that we are getting two entire figures, right? I have no clue at this point, but if 1x4 skill is too much for you, your budget is way lower, no problem. You can get her at 15,000 yen, 1x6 skill, which once again is an amazing value proposition for 1x6 skill. However, you only get to choose one version, 15,000 yen for the stocking version, or for the barrel leg version, also 15k. If you buy both, then it is 30k, right? While the 1x4 skill is 36k, only another 6,000 yen. Which I find it really hard to believe that you're getting two entire figures, given the price difference of 6,000 yen. I mean, compared to buying two 1x6 skills. So I'm more inclined to believe that they are just giving you an extra pair of legs to swap out. Yeah. Anything more than that would be a very pleasant surprise. And speaking of the face of this trio of bunny girl figures, once again, not my kind of character design, like not to my taste, but still way better than that Fubuki hairstyle, that tomboy hairstyle earlier. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, Black Bunny Girl again, of course. Sophia F. Shering from Bunny Suit Planning. 1x4 skill for this one. This is a unique figure from freeing at 36k. She is partially customable because all Sophia F. Shering figures are. Like, her oppai is her main feature in a way, so it needs to be an option for the collectors somehow. But if I were to get a figure of Sophia F. Shering, I would get her in the one where she is in a mecha suit of some kind, very science fiction like. Is that one by Vertex? I think so. Can't remember, but it feels like a Vertex figure to me. Yeah, I would get the mecha suit version. I would rather go for 1x7 skill, but more detailed than a plain black bunny suit at 36k. Yeah, but that is just me, by the way. I am a detailed kind of person. Alright, moving on to the next one over here. 1x4 skill again. This figure is available in 1.4 and 1.6. The 1x4 skill, best at the goddess illustrated by Nigi Komiya. So many art-based figures nowadays and they are attractive AF. Right? This is the prettiest 1x4 skill this week in my opinion. 52k though, she does not come cheap. But this one is customable. Yeah, I think it is quite obvious, right? Pure is a 18 plus edgy figure brand. But still, 52k feels really steep. Yeah, very steep for a 1x4 skill. Otherwise, this is great to have if money is no object. This is a very unique 1x4 skill in a way. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so we check out her 1x6 skill, 25,000 yen. Okay, 25k, 52k, oh wow, that is a huge price gap over there between 1.6 and 1.4. For some of you, maybe 1.6 is good enough. Like for me, if I want to do diorama photography, I would rather go for 1x6, seriously. 1x4 is... It is a great piece for display, but for photography, it is a huge pain in the butt. Yeah. I can't wait to see what the final paint job, the actual figure looks like because the shading work on her skin, on her torso, her belly looks fabulous, at least in these product pictures. Yeah, I hope they maintain it in the final product. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Daiki Kogyo. I just need to let out a big sigh whenever I see a new figure from them nowadays. Yeah, this 28,000 yen 1x6 skill figure, Sawayaka Samehada original character, Camo Mimi made Kikimora, coming out this December. What do you think? Because to me, this figure feels like, once again, just like any other Daiki Kogyo figure in the past 6 months or so, it feels like details are lacking, right? I mean, I could even tell from these product pictures alone, like, I mean, the fur, apostrophe, the fur on her tail and also her hair over there, like, it could use more details in a way, like, the sculpting could be improved upon. And honestly, even with that wooden base over there, which I believe is just hollow ABS plastic, like literally hollow underneath, 28k feels really steep. Yeah, it feels very expensive to me. Of course, to those of you who like petan girls with micro bikini, you might want to pick one up because figures like this, even more so an edgy one, they are not common. You don't come by figures like this very often. So in the end, it is up to you, right? This is nothing new. Like lower levels of detail from Daiki Kogyo, nothing new. They are always like that. Moving on to the next one. Oh, this is so pretty. I mean, you guys are seeing a direct comparison over here. Daiki Kogyo, 28,000 yen. Otherware Chinese brand, 1/6 scale as well. So much more attractive. This character design over here, 20,000 yen only. And that is with a wall scroll at 20k, man. With a wall scroll, if you are not interested in the merch, 18k. 1/6 scale for 18k. And oh, the face on this maid figure. This is a direct comparison. The previous Daiki figure is also a maid figure. This is just so much nicer, so much more aesthetic to look at. Like her face, the sculpt on the hair, and then, I mean, everything else. The detail around her apron as well. I mean, all of those wrinkles, folds on the apron, so much nicer over here. Oh, go and get this figure, man. At least get the basic version, 18,000 yen. This is a great buy. I would be lying if I were to say I'm not interested. Well, normally I am not too interested in maid figures given how common they are. Just like bunny figures, but this one is somehow very attractive to look at. Yeah, perhaps the bikini is part of it, but still, when you factor in the pose and everything else, this is so aesthetic. Alright, let's jump to the next figure over here. Here we go again. More Chinese brand figures this week. Hobby Sakura or HSK. 1/7 scale Maruta Sensei illustration by Trotem. Okay, this is limited edition with bonus. No, you are not getting a wall scroll. That blackboard behind her illustrating, yeah, reproductive education. Very interesting piece of prop over there. Yeah, you are paying an extra 2,000 yen for that blackboard behind her. So if you are not interested in that, you can get her for 21k. But seriously, this is not a wall scroll we're dealing with. This is literally a deluxe version of a normal figure. More props, go for the one costing 23k. Like, this is definitely the first time I'm seeing a lecturer, a sensei, teaching reproductive education in the form of an anime figure. Like, this is totally the first time I'm seeing something like this. Very interesting. Character design, not my kind of character, right? This is totally MILF alley. Like, those of you who love MILFs or mums, then this is the perfect figure for you. But still, I mean, just for that board alone behind her, it is worth picking one up. Alright, moving on to the next one over here. More amazing figures, man. Oh, this is so good. This is one of my favorite pair of figures this week. 1/7 scale Gita Meme and Shokyu Sensei's Dance Lesson. A set of 2 figures, 27,000 yen. So you're paying an average 13,500 yen for each of these figure. Wow. Yeah, only 1/7, but I don't hate 1/7. I love 1/7 scales. 2 figures for 27k. Coming out in January. Damn! I don't know why this pair of girls, which are very plain looking girls wearing sweater and stocking, are so attractive to me. Of course, you can buy it separately. Guitar Meme is 13,000 yen and the other one, Shokyu Sensei, 13,000 yen as well. Yeah, why buy them separately? They look amazing together, man. Get both. It makes no sense buying only one. It feels incomplete to me. Like, if I owned only one figure and I knew the other one existed, I would totally suffer from anxiety. which I call it acute incomplete set restless syndrome or some kind, right? I just couldn't be at a peace of mind until I know I have a complete set. Yeah, maybe some of you don't have this problem. Some of you buy figures of your favorite characters only. You don't collect the complete set, but I am the kind who want things to be complete, right? So if I were to collect Love Life stuff, yeah, I would need all 9 characters, which is really bad for my wallet. Okay. Moving on to the next figure, Chinese brand again, Apex Toys W100. How to pronounce that? W100 version from Arc Knights, 21,300 yen only. Great price, really. February 2025 release. Arc Knights, really, this feels like an idol character to me, but it is not like that is uncommon at all. I mean, in Azalin, in FGO, in pretty much everywhere else, we have characters trying to be an idol in some way or other. Oh, this really tickles my fancy. Someone like me who love details, man. Like, this is exactly the same kind of detail we saw in Max Factory's volume from Goddess of Victory Nikkei last week. Yeah, my kind of thing. This is my kind of thing. But, you know, I have been considering for one whole week now. I'm thinking of proceeding to hit the pre-order button on volume. Yeah. As for Arc Knights, no, I am not touching Arc Knights at all. I don't want to jump into such a deep hole. Like, there is only so much things I can afford. I need to be selective. Next figure, Apex Toys again, Azalin Ting An Tender White Jade version. So that Tender White Jade version, is it referring to the mid buns she is making on her desk, or is it referring to the buns on her chest? Maybe both, right? This figure, I remember her very well from Wonder Festival back late last year. 20k for the whole package, including the desk. Yeah, amazing value once again. Just that it doesn't feel like an Azalin figure to me somehow, because my mind is so fixated with the fact that if it is an Azalin girl, it needs to have ship parts behind her, just like Kankole, you know, yeah, Kantai collection. Anyways, another great addition to the collection of any Azalin collectors. Like, I think Azalin is the game title today that has the most figure choices out there. Like, no contest at all. They have more figures than FGO or any other game titles at the moment, I think. Way too many, man. Next one over here from Dolls Frontline. So, I heard that Dolls Frontline is the name in Japan and then Girls Frontline is the name in China. That is what I heard. But to me, the name Dolls Frontline sounds so stupid. Yeah, I don't know why, but it feels stupid to me. So this is from the spin-off, I heard, Neural Cloud Persicaria Besotted Evernight version. Like, anyways, May release next year, a year away. And oh boy, Reverse Studio, Chinese brand again. I mean, you're getting the whole set over here, the bar top, the accessories, everything for 21,000 yen. Ho! Not all these amazing deals is going to make me insult Union Creative even more coming up soon, right? Yeah, pick one up if you like this figure. I want it because of the props. I have to be honest over here. I want the props, and I really wish that I could buy the props only for maybe, I don't know how many thousand yen, but I want the props, man. As a figure photographer, those props are very useful. Right, moving on to the next skill figure over here. Here we go, guys. Here we go. 1/6 skill TACCO illustration goes by Union Creative, 25,000 yen. So you have two choices right now, which is to pay 25,000 yen for a very thick ghost, or you can pay only 7,500 yen for a more slender and prettier ghost by Bear Panda. So you can literally buy 3 of these compared to one single figure of the same character by Union Creative and still have extra cash left to spend on shipping. This is so absurd, man. I mean, the price difference, yeah, maybe Union Creative is better quality than Bear Panda, maybe, right? I mean, too early to speculate, but is it 300% better than this figure? No, I don't think so. Right? We're looking at diminishing returns over here, where the more you pay, not necessarily the more quality you get. Yeah, technically you do get more quality, but is it 3 times as good? Definitely not, right? We call that diminishing returns over here. Yeah. Would you spend 25,000 yen on a thick rose figure, or would you spend 7,500 yen on a hairy rose figure? Yeah. If you prefer it hairy, that is hairy stuff going on behind her, and you know that hairy tail behind her on this version by Bear Panda, there is actually a flexible metal rod of some kind right in the middle, and then you can shape the tail the way you want, right? It is flexible actually. I've seen that material before. Butt plugs. Anyways, now which one is more expensive to produce, PVC tail or fluffy tail? The answer is PVC. Because PVC, you need to make the mold, the steel mold, which is extremely expensive. So this is actually more expensive to manufacture compared to the Bear Panda version, but once again does not justify triple the cost, right? Not to mention, there is one thing about this version of Rose figure by Union Creative that really bothers me, and that is her thigh right there. I mean, in an attempt to make her as curvy as possible, we are running into some anatomical issues over here, where her right thigh is thicker than her left thigh. It feels like one of her legs is having muscular atrophy of some kind. In medical terms, muscular atrophy is like literally the loss of muscle because of a medical condition, right? So it feels like one leg or one thigh is bigger than the other. Well, theoretically, if you look at anyone's thigh from the side or from an angle, right? Yeah, the thighs will appear bigger compared to looking at the same leg from the front because of, yeah, your butt muscle, the gluteus maximus, which runs from the ass all the way down to the back of the thighs. If you look at it from an angle, yes, it will appear thicker compared to from the front, but her leg actually rotated sideways a bit, like rotated inwards so that we get to see the side of the thighs. I'm not too sure. I think her leg is slightly rotated, so maybe it makes sense over here to sculpt the figure this way, like one leg is thicker than the other, but at the same time it makes the pose feel a bit unnatural in some way. Maybe they are just being loyal to the artwork behind this character. I don't know. Maybe it is based on an artwork, and that artwork is exactly like that. But still, I mean, one thigh thicker than the other feels really weird to me. That is what my subjective opinion is, right? Anyways, I think 90 or 95% of you agreed that, yeah, the Bear Panda version is the better version, at least on the Facebook post I shared. Yeah, I made a meme out of this naturally. I am going to make a meme for sure. There is a third figure of her actually. Pre-orders have closed. Yeah, this one over here. Same character. 17,500 yen by Max Cute. Now 17k is a lot more reasonable in comparison. I think Union Creative's asking price of 25k is too much for a Japanese brand. I mean, for a Japanese brand, if you are saying 15k, 17k, I can still accept it. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Is this an original character, or is this a Hololive VTuber? Because this looks like a VTuber character design to me. I know nothing about VTubers, right? Patra Suo, 1/7 skill by Furyu, only 18,000 yen. It feels like Furyu has been trying to, yeah, trying to make up for the mistakes they have made for the past year or two, where they priced their figures for 27 to over 40,000 yen. Nowadays, their pricing is a lot more reasonable, but still, I don't have many nice things to say about them, because they still need to prove it to me that they can make decent figures instead of inconsistent quality control over and over. Yeah, I have no idea who this is, but once again, I mean, the character design, the design language really reminds me of Hololive, or even VTubers or virtual stars in general, virtual celebrities in general, right? The design language is very similar. Could be an idol character, I don't know. But regardless of whether this is a Hololive or something else, no. Nowadays, I try not to collect idol stuff if I can. Moving on to the next one, this is a re-release. Okay, 1/8 scale holo renewal package by Kotobukiya. Just under 9,000 yen. I'm not sure if I should include this under the low cost figure section or not, but technically this wasn't a low cost figure more than a decade ago. Kotobukiya is just releasing an old sculpt, right? Which in my opinion is very lazy, because the latest Spice and Wolf anime adaptation, she looks nothing like this figure over here. The character design is quite different, right? And a lot better. And by the way, I did try watching the new Spice and Wolf, and by the end of episode 2, I have almost given up watching it. I tried really hard, but no. Spice and Wolf reminds me of Free Run. For the same reason why I did not like Free Run. It is boring AF. Like, maybe I'm getting old and I need something very... how do I describe it? It feels too peaceful to me. Too peaceful, and the pace is too slow, and I actually almost fell asleep watching anime like that. Spice and Wolf or Free Run or anything else that is similar. So not my kind of thing at all. Regardless of how popular or how highly praised it is, not my kind of thing. For figures of holo, I would say this is not worth picking up unless you are collecting a lot of holo figures. There are better figures of her out there, by Kadokawa, by what else? In short, there are many nicer figures of her. This is actually the least impressive figure of holo out there, out of many, right? Moving on to the next one. Okay, now we are going into low cost scale figure territory, which we have 6 or 7 of them this week. I think 8 of them, including one on Ami later, which is wow. Okay, 1/6 scale Ishimi Yokoyama Black One Piece dress version, illustration by Bara, by Hanabi, which I'm assuming is a Chinese brand, because no Japanese brand is going to sell you a 1/6 scale at under 10,000 yen. Oh, I love the face on this figure so much. Oh, this is really attractive. Yeah, there are not much details going on, but I am hoping that all of the shading around her belly region, you see that dark midnight blue and then a bit of medium blue around the belly button over there. I hope that this is real painting and not shadows created by lighting, studio lighting. I hope that is real painting over there, because if it is, that would be amazing for under 10,000 yen. This is the kind of painting I like to see on anime figures, right? Like very strong, very heavy-handed shading in general. I love them. Just that I can't really tell from this picture over here whether that is actual paintwork or studio lighting. I'm more inclined to believe that it is actual paintwork, because I mean, you look at the lighting direction. There is a light to the left of the figure. I mean, to the right of this picture over there. There is a light from the right side of this picture. Is there a light directly from the front of the figure? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. One light from the right side, another one from the top because of the bright spot on her head. Yeah, one soft light from the top. In short, I think the shading on her dress is not matching the studio lighting direction. So most likely this is actual shading on the paintwork rather than shadows from lighting. I'm just guessing over here. I might be wrong. But regardless, even if the shading is a lot lesser than what I expected over here, under 10k for the pretty face, why not? Man, we have a lot of great affordable figures this week. Moving on to the next one from Hobby Sakura HSK, Chinese brand. Again, Yoga Shoujo illustration by Kinko, limited edition with bonus. Yeah, you're getting that print over there for 9,000 yen. Yeah, there is a cheaper version. There is a cheaper version here which I forgot to check out. Yeah, 8,000 yen. You can get her for as low as 8,000 yen. And you know, at least this is not a Japanese company selling a sitting post figure for 20,000 yen. You know, a lot of this kind of sitting post figures, the figure looks smaller than it actually is, and they come with a tiny box. But this is 8,000 yen. And what is up with yoga figures lately? We have another one coming. This is special simply because she is doing yoga. Yeah, worth picking up for sure. Another yoga figure over here. This is also really good. 1x7 scale SSR figure yoga split version by Infinity Studio. So this is actually a Japanese brand. And if I'm not mistaken, Infinity Studio is like a split of Prem 1 Studio where they do lower cost figures. Yeah. Whenever you see SSR, that is a low cost scale figure by this brand over here. 10,200 yen for 1x7. Yeah. Great buy. Yeah, this time around, this figure over here, I mean, look at the shiny parts on her backside and along her entire leg. That is actual lighting from studio lights. That is not shading. Like, it is literally reflecting light from a studio lamp. So, yeah, I'm not expecting any shading over here on this figure. Maybe other than her hair, but that is fine. Because, yeah, we don't get yoga figures very often. This is really good. I love it. Moving on to the next one, we have a pair of figures from Licorice Recoil by Full Wheel's affordable figure division, Tenitol. Tenitol really sounds like the name of a drug, man, or a painkiller or an antibiotic or something like that. Yeah, there is a drug called phenobarbital, in case you guys don't know. Yeah, so the word Tenitol really sounds like the name of a medicine to me. Okay, so we have Takina Inoue in this, oh, I love it, casual outfit. I love it. I've always liked casual outfits because, I mean, as a photographer myself, figure photographer, these kind of figures are so flexible, you can put them anywhere and they will fit right in. Yeah, the second one, of course, Chisato. Needless to say, if you get one, you need the other. These two girls are a pair. And I heard that Licorice Recoil as an original anime is getting a season 2. Oh yes. It needs another 3 seasons. Seriously, it is really good, right? I love this anime so much, man. Okay, moving on to the next one. From Kotobukiya at FXJ, Rino Ichikawa from Kaiju number 8. 13,000 yen. Yeah. Kotobukiya and Art FX, they give you value, they give you diorama base for not too much money. Big fan of Kaiju number 8, pick up one, right? I would rather you save up for something like this over pop-up parades anytime. Okay, so Kaiju number 8, now we are into episode 3, episode 4 almost. It is no longer my favorite anime this season, yeah, but still in top 3. Don't get me wrong, I like it a lot, but I found something I like more. I can't remember the title, but I heard that that anime is an original anime, not adapted from any light novel or manga. Can't remember the title at the moment. I loved that series so much because it feels very relatable as a content creator. Anyways, I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's move on to the last figure on HLJ this week. I have no idea what this thing is. Kinnikuman 40cm Big Sofubi series Terryman original color by HKDS Toy. Only 21,000 yen. I mean, Hong Kong dollars toy? Is this Chinese brand or Hong Kong brand? Maybe. I mean, this is 40 centimeters and it is so cheap, right? Yeah, I have no idea what this thing is. If you know something, let me know down in the comments below. And now we shall stop by Ami for a few figures that are not yet listed on HLJ at the time of recording. We have El Coco, which is actually a budget figure division of Design Coco, by the way. Nori Pro Tamaki Inuyama 1x7 scale. Like, who is this? VTuber again? Maybe? Anyways, El Coco is being more aggressive than most other brands from Japan. Like Pop-Up Parade or Tenitals, they range between 4,000 to 6,000 plus yen. And their 1x7 scale over here is more than often between 3,000 to 4,000 yen. I don't know how they are doing it. Maybe it is just an over-glorified price figure. Like, you are paying 1,500 yen for the figure and yeah, it is more like the packaging cost inflating the cost further. I don't know. I am not expecting too much. But at the same time, even if I were to review a figure by El Coco, they are not really making the stuff I want to buy at the moment. Yeah, don't expect too much, right, at this price point. Great figure to have. I mean, I am happy for those of you with a lower budget, you can't afford very expensive figures, there are so many great choices nowadays. As long you are not into Azalin, Arknights or FGO, then you are in a world of pain, right? Okay, the second one over here, not yet listed on HLJ, the story of a manga artist who was imprisoned by a strange high school girl, Konata-chan. Wow. 1/6 scale from Supernova, 8,300 yen. Okay, once again, must be a Chinese brand. I have no proof, of course, but I mean, looking at the price and also the fact that this is a provisional pre-order, every time you see the word provisional pre-order, it is like 99.9% Chinese brand, because Ami does not know how much stock they are able to acquire, right? I would love to review all these figures, seriously. But this one over here, the character design, I'm not sure if I like it that much. Hey, there will be plenty of opportunities in future to review all these figures. Yeah, this one has almost a bare butt over there, and she is not going to get past YouTube's rules, right? Unfortunately. The third figure on Ami, not yet listed on HLJ as well. Bunny Girl Anna, Bunny Girl again. At least it is not black color. 1/4 scale for 10,000 yen from Figmon. So is it you, Bear Panda, in disguise? I'm inclined to believe that is the case, and boy, this one anime logic at work over here, anime physics, because there is no way so little amount of cloth is going to keep her oppai well supported. Wow. I am not a Bunny Girl hater. I just feel like there are too many of them, but it is pretty hard to resist when they are this cheap at 1/4 scale. Yeah. And the last figure on Ami for today, something not safe for work, 1/4 scale. And this is a really good buy despite the cost, because Taimanin series, this is very popular eroge game. A lot of people love it. And recently we are seeing a resurgence where more and more figures from this game are coming out. Somehow, maybe there is a new game, maybe, I don't know. I'm not keeping an eye on games. Asagi Igawa Barrel Lake Bunny version. Ah, I see. Barrel Lake Bunny version. So this one came out once already. I should have read the title first. Okay, so from binding, 44,000 yen. Okay, once again, for Bunny Girl figures, some of them look great with stockings, some not so much, and vice versa. For this specific character, since this is from an eroge, I think she looks fine. Like, she doesn't look weird even without those stockings. Yeah. This figure is going to look great next to that New Jersey figure from Free Ink 1/4 scale, which is also a pole dancing figure. Yeah, I think they will look great next to each other. And our last stop for genuine figures, Ninin game. Okay, so there are 4 versions of this figure actually. Cosplay photoshoot Osero-chan 1/4 scale for 27 or 28,000 yen equivalent from USD over there. That is normal for B full figures. And there is also a 1/6 scale version for 19,000 yen. So who is she cosplaying? Is it that, was it Azalin or Arknights? I think Azalin, right? That pair of characters with a Chinese name. Yeah, the hair is split black and white in between. Must be that, I'm not sure. I find this one to be a lot more attractive than the full Hadaka version, which I'm not putting on screen. That is the 3rd and the 4th version. Yeah, there are 2 more versions of this character without any clothes on, but I would still recommend you guys to get the one with clothes on. And please, be full, Forge Japan, don't F up this figure. Please don't, because this one actually looks really good. Yeah. And the last genuine figure for today, wow, another Futa figure. Just like last week, we had 2 of them. Here we have Futanari Girl Shizuku 1/6 scale by Inside, 19,000 yen only. So for those of you who love to have 3 cannons instead of 2, which I mean, yeah, 2 on the chest and the 3rd one between the legs, then maybe pick one up. I mean, when you look at the face being so cute, and then there is a huge cannon right between her legs over there, I have no idea what to think, man. If you are pro LGBT, you need to buy this figure. Yeah, you need to buy it. Alright, and that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now we shall move on to third-party resin figures, making use of our affiliate partner as well, OSGK. Okay, so we have less third-party resin figures this week, and we shall start off with One Piece stuff. 4 One Piece figures this week, right? The first one here from 37 Degree Love Studio. We have Nico Robin with a mirror base. Alright. Are there any safe pictures I can click on? I want to show you guys the face. So this is about $227, but I'm not sure if it is worth it because there are so many amazing One Piece third-party figures that go for less than $200 and they are way more detailed than this one. So this one feels like a pure fan service figure, and even if you are getting Hadaka parts like an extra entire torso, I can't justify the asking price of $227 over here, simply because there are better stuff out there, right? Okay, moving on to the second figure over here from Dream Studio. We have Nami in Japanese outfit from One Piece again. Okay, this is very weird, you see. Pop skill is $221. 1/7 skill, that is what they call pop over here. So 1/7 skill is $221 and 1/5 skill is $250. Now, who in their right minds would pay $30 less for a way smaller figure when the price difference is so small? I just don't understand what is going on, right? Yeah, look at the sheer difference over here. The one on the left is $250. The one on the right is $220. It feels too good to be true, if I have to be honest. Like, the 1/7 scale for $220 makes sense, but I don't know if they listed the price incorrectly, where the 1/5 scale is more like $350 instead of $250. It is possible. If you're interested in this one, then maybe inquire them for more clarification whether the price is correct or not before you get disappointed later on. Moving on to the third one over here from One Piece in an IU studio. So this studio, I don't know much about them yet. What I do know is that I have seen a number of their figures and they appear to make quality figures at a low price. Like literally every figure they made for One Piece, they go for $150 or less. Yeah, they are making a lot of budget resin figures. This is Perona. Yeah, $127. Yeah, this one we can take a look at the face over there. Yeah. I mean, not very detailed, but for $127 you're getting that huge sofa, that huge couch over there. I don't think that there is much to complain about, right? Moving on to the fourth one over here, and in my opinion, the best One Piece figure for this week from Lumos Studio. Is it Lumos or Luminous? It is possible because I have heard of Luminous Studio before. Lumos Studio, never heard of it. Anyways, this is Boa Hancock from One Piece, and we shall go through a few pictures over here. Starting from $361 up to $378. So I'm paying a bit more for some accessories. Just go all out in this case. So what do you think about the face over here? I think it is a bit different from the Boa Hancock I know. Yeah, this is more like realistic version, right? The anime version isn't like this, but still very similar. So I don't have much complaints over here. And this is what the full figure looks like. This is seriously badass looking. I love it, right? Like, there is something really stylish about this setup. And once again, at the price you're paying $370 or so, there is Hadaka parts, right? There are those parts for those of you who think they are very important. So I would say the pricing is somewhat reasonable over here, given that this is a 1/4 scale. Moving on to the next one, there we go. Alright, Anonymous Studio, you can have this figure over here, Marcel or Freeran. I think it is a really clever thing to include Marcel as an option. Though, I mean, the body proportions and the curves, right? This doesn't, all of these, they don't look like Freeran or Marcel to me. These two characters, they are not that curvy, they are not that sexy, to be honest. This is like a very generic looking female body overall. Nothing special. So, this is based on which episode, I can't remember, where Freeran got caught in a treasure trap. Yeah, this is based on what we saw in the anime. And if $97 is too expensive for you, Sega is making something very similar, though slightly less detailed, for way lesser money, like $20, $25. So yeah, there is an option coming from Sega price if you want a meme figure like this one. Personally, I would settle for the Sega one. That is good enough, right? I mean, this is a meme stuff. This is for jokes, for laughs. So I don't see the point paying $100 for it unless you want to collect quality figures only. Moving on to the next one. Oh, wow. This is so good. Like, the face of this figure is so good. Alice 21 Studio, never heard of them. Zenless Zone Zero Nico Demara, $218 only, which is suspiciously cheap, like very cheap, seriously. Standard version, 187, and then the DX version, 218. Yeah, just go all out. Just an additional $25-$30. Yeah, I'm not going to scroll through the pictures too much because there are Hadaka parts involved, but wow. This for $218, assuming that she turns out as advertised, this is an amazing buy, man. The pose, the face, everything about this figure. This is one of the best 1x6 skills this week from third parties. There is another one, we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, top 3 best 1x6 skill this week. Moving on to the next one, we have Treasure Trove Studio original character Utopia Pupa. So we have something stuck in a sleeping capsule of some kind, going for $272. I like the concept. This feels like something I would see in Ghost in the Shell. But how many people are going to buy something like this? That is the question, right? Yeah. I like it. I like the concept. But at the same time, I'm not sure who would buy something like this. Moving on to the next one. This is something unusual, not common. Chaosha Studio House Moving Castle, How and Sophie. Yeah, so anime made by Miyazaki are the stuff I like the least. Not my kind of anime. I did watch a few of them, but not my kind of thing. I know I am not a very cultured person, but that is just me, by the way. So this one is going for $413. Ouch. Yeah, I know there are 2 figures over there, but still $413. I think they are just taking advantage at this point because there are no skill figures from this anime, right? I don't think there are any at all. So yeah, they are just taking advantage. The figure looks great, and once again, if they turn out as promised over here, then maybe pick one up if you are a big fan of Miyazaki's anime series, anime movies, I mean. Okay, moving on to the next one from PJ Studio. This is a licensed figure. Perfect World Willow God. Must be from some Chinese manhwa or game, right? Yeah, must be. So this is a 1x4 skill, $734. Those leaves, they can't be resin, right? They must be some other material, because if the leaves are made of resin, this would be super fragile. It must be something else, something more flexible. Yeah, rubber resin does exist, by the way. Not the kind of thing I would buy, because to me this feels like a statue of a god. To be precise, Guan Yin in Buddhism feels like a statue of Guan Yin to me. But other than that, what else can I say? I can just appreciate the amount of details on this thing. It is not something I would buy. Moving on to the next one from Pira Studio, we have Arlecchino from Genshin Impact. Is it a new character? Arlecchino. It is so difficult to pronounce. I'll just call her Frappuccino. Okay, so there are 2 color versions over here. Elegant gray version, the one you're seeing on screen. Standard version $208, EX edition $237, and then there is a red color version, yeah, of Frappuccino going for $208 or $237 as well. And I do believe these are CGI renders. It looks like CGI render to me, yeah. By the way, episode 3 of third-party figure brand review is coming soon. So we'll get to see a few figure brands who took pre-orders with 3D CGI imagery. What did the final product turn out to be like? Did they deliver as promised? I won't say anything yet. Wait for the episode, right? Yeah. I think I like the red color version a bit more. I'm not too sure at this point. Actually, no. Let me take back what I said. Grey color is nicer. I think the color contrast between the red color couch and the grey color outfit and the outline over here. Yeah, I think this one, the color stands out a bit more. Though it is relying on the color of the couch or sofa to stand out. Either ways, you can't go wrong with either of these, right? Regardless of whether you go for Frappuccino or Cappuccino color. Anyways, PRPR Studio is a studio I'm not familiar with. I want to see actual product pictures first. Just that this figure feels a bit boring to me for a Genshin character. Alright, next one, Marin Kitagawa. It has been quite a while since the last time we had a Marin Kitagawa figure. Now the interesting one about this one is that we have 3 scales available over here from Temple Studio. 1/6 scale version A, $115 only. $115 for 1/6 scale. 1/4 scale, $187 only. 1/2 scale, only $332. And there are 2 versions, version A and version B, just different accessories. Or you can get both for $413 in the case of 1/2 scale. I know, maybe you want to complain about the face because the face looks a bit weird, right? In this picture, I do agree the face is off. But a lot of figure companies, they mess up the face of Marin Kitagawa anyways. But wait, not yet. We're not yet done. Okay, so we take a look at this picture over here. She's looking so much better, isn't it? I suspect, right? This was the first teaser picture they shown to everyone, and then they received complaints on how the face is not good enough, and then subsequently, when they release newer pictures of the same figure, they have fixed her face. Now, this is something I can recommend if this is exactly what we are getting instead of this one. It is different, very different over there. Yeah, I think this is version B, where you are getting her with twin tails and a hat over there. I think I prefer this one, simply because this is quite different from the usual Marin Kitagawa figures out there. Yeah. Okay, this figure is so cheap, you can just get both A plus B, right? No harm getting both. Oh boy, 1/2 scale for $340. I am tempted. Just that, if I were to get a figure that is almost a meter tall, where would I even put it? The price is very attractive, man. Would you pick one up? Let me know down in the comments below. Moving on to the next one, we have a Gundam girl over here. They call it original character because they can't mention the word Gundam because Bandai and Sunrise will witch hunt them for sure. Yeah, copyright infringement, right? So this is new Gundam, obviously, from Diamond Studio. 1/4 scale, $336, or you can get her at 1/6 scale for $235. I don't like the face at all, and that is enough for me to say no to this figure. Yeah. It feels like the entire front hairpiece is displaced slightly, like something is off a bit. I'm not too sure, but it looks wrong over here. I hope they fix it. I really hope they do. But no, I hated Universal Century. I dislike UC so much. Give me a Strike Freedom or something. Mighty Strike Freedom even, and put a pretty face on it, please. Moving on to the next one from COD Studio, we have Robin from Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, not Nico Robin. Is it a new character? Yeah, I think you guys told me it is a new character, right? Like, she wasn't playable before, but she is now. So there are 3 versions over here. I'm a bit too afraid of clicking on the other 2 versions. I'm sure it is something loot. So version A over here, yeah, $298. Version B must be something edgy, and version C, $397. You're getting both. Yeah, both. Okay, all I want to know is the face as usual. So we jump to the next picture. Yeah, the pic is not very high res, but This is good enough, very attractive. Yeah, this is good. This is very good. All that is left is to see what the company is like when the actual figure does come out. So yeah, Honkai stuff nowadays, they're not cheap. They average $300 each. We'll wait and see what the more mainstream brands now. I'm not sure if mainstream is the right word, but brands like Imagination Studio, Epsim Studio, or Arctic Wolf Studio, they are doing everything from Genshin and Honkai, right? So I would be interested to see what they come up with. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, speaking of the devil. Imagination Studio 2B from Nier Automata. Now this is a 1x4 skill. This studio normally does 1x6. Now they are doing 1x4 and you can get 2B for $353, which is an absolute steal. Like, my eyes are still on the other 2B figure made by Cool Bear Studio. I still remember them. But that one was over $600. So this is starting to look like a very attractive alternative option, which is a lot cheaper. But you just couldn't beat the one by Cool Bear Studio, which is so awesome, so badass, but takes up more space to display as well. This is not bad. You'll see, detail like this makes me very happy. Oh, I love stuff like this, man. Still, I'm thinking that the one by Cool Bear Studio is having a massive advantage over this one. Yeah, just because of the pose, it's so much nicer, more dynamic. I love action poses, but this one will take up less space. Moving on to the next one over here from God Pen Studio, we have Final Fantasy, the Girls' Ultimate Fantasy. Whatever that is supposed to mean. 1x6 skill, we have a basic version, the one you're seeing on screen, going for $332. And then there is a fantasy version, $413, which I assume you're getting extra parts, which is Hadaka parts. Yeah, I'm assuming over here, right? Yeah, Yuri. This is just Yuri. Not my kind of figure. Like, I don't like their faces, but overall, this is not a bad figure. I mean, for $332, the base price for 2 figures and that base over there, yeah, reasonable, but still not my kind of thing. Moving on to the next one. Oh yes, Facebook is making a figure which I can't put on screen. So Zuckerberg is asking for, let's see, standard edition 1x6 scale, $189 only. And then there's Ecchi version for $189 also, I presume. EX edition $274. Of course, you can get her at 1x4 scale up to $397. So yeah, Blue Archive, which is known for their lollies, and we have Kisaki over here making Japanese green tea. Why not? Organic Japanese green tea, by the way. As long they get their face done right, then this would be amazing to have. The haters can suck it. The haters over at Twitter. This is amazing. I love it. I have considered buying a figure of Kisaki before from a third-party figure brand, just that I couldn't decide on which one to get because there don't appear to be a perfect figure of her. Like literally every single one of them out there, they have their own flaws, not necessarily in a very bad way, but maybe I'm just being too picky. Like the one made by Million Studio was already quite good in my opinion. Yeah, that one is already out since last December, so the one by Million Studio could be a bit hard to find nowadays, at least at the normal price, right? Alright, moving on to the next one. Okay, so the last 4 figures are cultured stuff. We have TXS Studio, Bailu from Honkai Star Rail, of course. We have all these lolly characters with barely any cloth on. The face on this Bailu figure is amazing. Like, I love the blush there so much, and this is only $187. Once again, screw the haters over at X or Twitter. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Right, this is cheap, right, for 1x6 skill. Now the next cultured figure over here, we have Raiden Mei from Honkai Impacted by Arctic Wolf Studio. Yeah, I almost called her Raiden Shogun over there. They look alike. Yeah, by the same game, probably even the same artist, who knows. But this is not my kind of Raiden Mei figure. Yeah, I think she would be great to have, but the problem is that tree branch over there behind her, yeah, the Chinese culture inspired tree branch and the shelf, I feel like it is way too overdone. There are like at least a couple dozen of other figures out there with a very similar background design, way too common, and that is the main reason why I don't like this figure. The main figure is fine, to be honest. Moving on to the next degenerate figure over here from Double I Studio, we have Hu Tao with tentacles from Genshin Impact. This one is available in 1x4 and 1x6 scale. Apparently, the 1x6 scale is like $150 and 1x4 $300. To me, did Hu Tao grow longer hair in the game, or I simply wasn't paying attention? I'm not too sure over here. But this doesn't look like Hu Tao that much to me. I think that is my bigger problem over there. Yeah. And the last figure for today, oh wow, we have Lawang Nieme Studio. They are famous for very cultured figures, and they are making a figure of Yae Miko doing the Bukake fountain of some kind. Yeah. I don't even know what to call it anymore. No, this is not Bukake. This is more like Iku fountain. That's what I call it. So $208 only. Feel free to get one if this is your kind of figure. And that is all. For figures on pre-order this week, which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. Until then, if you found this video to be entertaining or helpful in any way, give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this every week. And until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.